San Antonio!
Let's go.
Welcome to All Things San Antonio podcast with your host, Brad Burns and
Ken Carter, we're coming at you. And I just want to say from the very beginning, I've been hoodwinked.
Hoodwinked.
I got hoodwinked. So we were leaving the office today, and I was told an update. I don't know if you heard, but there was a tiger at Espada Park over by Mission Espada. But there wasn't.
There wasn't.
I even said, we're gonna talk about this on the podcast. This is gonna be interesting. We got a tiger going on in the park. And the guy that told me about the park sent me a link to it. And in the link, all the comments say, "Oh, this isn't true. These are pictures from this place. These are pictures from his proof that it was happening was the proof that it wasn't happening." Shout out to you, Esau.
It was probably just somebody there with a tiger blanket.
or Joe King coming down.
Yeah, Tiger King. Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic, that's his name. Joe Exotic. That's still one of the craziest. Imagine if that podcast hadn't, or that docuseries or whatever you want to call it, it came out right when the pandemic happened. It was perfect time to get everybody watched that thing. And it's that, and it's Joe Rogan. His famous things, he always says that there's more tigers owned privately in the state of Texas than there are out in the wild.
Speaking about exotic animals, so I did yard work this weekend. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook. I did yard work.
I didn't see it.
Put mulch out. Mulch was on sale 4 for $10 at Lowe's, and I just couldn't pass up the sale. I don't know how much it is normally, but I like clearance.
You like buying.
Yeah, I like buying stuff on clearance. Makes me feel good. But when we were done with that, we went inside, and somebody was selling a baby kangaroo on Marketplace, and it was sold by the time I got on there. So I posted this on Facebook, and apparently it's a lot easier to get a kangaroo in Texas than I anticipated, because I had a few people hit me up and say, "Hey, if you really want a kangaroo, I can get you one."
I know a guy who had kangaroos here in Texas, out in Bandera Pipe Creek area. Texas, actually, there's about 5,500 ranches in Texas that has exotic animals on them today. About 500 of them are for hunting. People go out and do trophy hunting and things like that. But the other 5,000 of them, it's just lawn art. It's just someone that says, "Oh, I want a giraffe." And so they have a giraffe in their backyard. And they want a zebra. They have zebras. They want kangaroos.
I've never seen a kangaroo on Facebook Marketplace before, and I was a little disappointed that I wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, I got to pet his kangaroo when it was still a little one.
That's cool. Kangaroos get big and pretty scary.
I mean, I've seen some of those videos. Did you see the one where the guy punched out the kangaroo because it was attacking his dog?
Yeah, I saw Kangaroo Jack too. It's dangerous. So let's talk about the exotics. What classifies an animal as an exotic? Is it just not from here?
Not from here. Yeah, and so Texas has a long history actually of exotics. There was a short period of time that I was working with a company that did investments in exotic animals, literally just almost like an oil well. As they get babies, they sell off the babies, but Texas I want to say even back I think it was in the 40s, the King Ranch was one that kind of really got it started with importing nilgai antelope. It's an Indian, South Asian antelope that fare extremely well in the South Texas heat and temperatures. And so during the World War II and stuff like that, when there was food rationing and things like that, nilgai antelope was a steady source of protein in America. And now it's funny because everybody wants to be more health conscious and everything like that. And it's really a delicious animal to eat. But we don't really eat those things. You can't buy it at Central Market. You can't buy it at your local HEB. Most of the meat that they still produce is shipped internationally or overseas. So it's still the King Ranch still produces a ton of nilgai meat every year, but it all goes overseas.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I know.
So speaking of tigers and exotic animals, let's get on to the next part: Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight.
I'm excited about this fight. You said you don't think so. I mentioned this to you, and the first thing you said is not going to be a real fight.
I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be an exhibition fight. I think just like they hyped up all the past fights, and they were exhibition fights, and you read more into it. Like you can't knock each other out. They're using lighter gloves. I saw rumors that they were actually gonna wear head guards. Now I don't know how true that is.
That was the rumors. I read an article this morning that talked about that's not true. Because it's going to be fought in Arlington at the AT&T or the American Airlines or AT&T.
I think the AT&T Stadium, Dallas Cowboy Stadium.
Is it going to be?
I think so.
It might be. I didn't associate the Cowboys. Sorry.
Just so you know, it's Cowboy Stadium. Even though we're not doing anything in free agency, we've lost a lot of people.
I did see that,
but we did re-sign our long snapper. We might not have a running back, but we have a long snapper. Priorities.
They need help, I think. But anyways, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, they're fighting in Arlington, and the goal is to have it sanctioned by the Texas Boxing Association and it be just a straight, legit boxing match. And I think that Mike Tyson will destroy him.
Oh, I'm pretty sure, but it's a lose-lose for Jake Paul.
I don't think it's.
There's only one win, and that's getting paid. But it's a lose-lose. He wins. He beat a super old, outdated Mike Tyson.
It doesn't matter.
He loses.
Tyson. It's Mike.
He
Tyson.
gets beat up by Mike Tyson.
Doesn't matter. And the thing is, I don't know boxing from. I'm not a huge boxing fan or anything like that at all. But he looks like a boxer. From the things that he's done, everything. Jake Paul's not going in there and not having trained, and Mike Tyson isn't going to. Mike Tyson's not the guy that's going to go in there and just bullshit around. He's Mike Tyson. He's Iron Mike Tyson. It's going to be a great. Either way, the fact that they are not doing it pay-per-view, they're putting it on Netflix, and it's not an extra charge for Netflix. It's like if you're a subscriber and you get Netflix, you're going to get this fight, which I think is, I think that's awesome.
I think it's almost something like Netflix has to do, because if you go back and look at Netflix, in my opinion, their movie selection and show selection has been sorry recently. They've taken away a lot of stuff. They haven't added a whole bunch of new stuff that's worth watching. So I think they have to do something to keep some subscribers up.
And I think all these streaming services, when they first came out, they were able to do it at a very low cost because they had investors coming in and seeing that they had a huge customer acquisition, so they were willing to put money into money. But it's really you've got to show profit. You got to show dollars coming back, and it's become a commoditized market. Everybody's streaming now. What Netflix had as a monopoly almost is no longer, because NBC Universal's got Peacock, you got Paramount, and all of these, the streaming side of it, they're getting away from FCC regulations and stuff, so they're getting a little bit more risque. They're using language that's more common to what you see in the regular world. It's not necessarily your church going language and everything, but it's become a little bit more real, and it's detracting away from people going to Netflix, and so you're going to see them tackling Amazon had the NFL, had certain games and everything. All of these streaming services are really going to start targeting sporting events, live events. Netflix did Chris Rock live. I don't know if you remember that.
So many people were mad that playoff game was on Peacock.
Yeah,
and they had to register for Peacock to watch the game,
and then cancel right after the. But that's more and more of the stuff is going to streaming. Anybody that's holding on to cable and your cable package going to be delivering the types of shows you want, it's over with. There'll
probably be more people turning into I don't know if you ever saw Omni and the Hellcat. Mm-mm. So he had an iPirate TV subscription. So I think it was $20 a month or something like that, and you get everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up going to jail.
That's the guy he was down in Australia.
No, I think he was here in the United States. I think he's in federal prison now, but he had like 100 different exotic cars and he was just showing off.
That's a telltale sign that that you don't value the money for one.
Well, when it's coming in like that, it doesn't matter.
Well, then you go to jail.
Yeah.
So along with that, the entertainment side of things, they've got Jake Paul and Mike Tyson at Arlington, and here at our Frost Center, we've got a much better show. We've got the Legend of Hip Hop. We've got Ice Cube and Bone Thugs and Harmony coming soon.
It's about time somebody wins in that center.
I think it's a great, like, there's a number of things happening in the next couple of months. They're not going to be here till August. I just saw that. I just recently, and I was like, man, that's really cool that we're getting like a lot of great performances and like a lot of like arts and those types of things. I just went and saw Tom Segura at the Frost Center. Mm-hmm. Amazing comedy show. I'm a big fan of his. Him and Bert Kreischer both, everything. But you have Nate Bargatze is fixing to come in there. Jim Gaffigan's going to be there in a couple of weeks. We have him coming down. I've talked about this before and everything, but it's crazy to me that we're getting this type of entertainment coming. I've lived in San Antonio for 30 years now, or 15, 25, 28 years. We've never had this kind of talent coming in and performing.
I don't think we've had the names we have now in the United States. So I think social media and the internet has really helped people blow up their platforms.
True.
Because I would say, I might go out on a limb here, but most of these people that you just mentioned probably wouldn't fill up the Frost Center if it wasn't for them building their platforms on social media the way they did.
It's funny you say that, and that's one of the reasons why I became a Bert Kreischer fan, is because of his social media presence. And they always give credit to Andrew Schultz for his podcast, the Flagrant 2 or something like Flagrant podcast. He kind of started doing podcasts the same time as Joe Rogan, but in a different light, and that took his career and blew it up. And all of these guys, I've kind of done, just watched them do that. And what I love about it is they help each other. They've come to a mindset of prosperity instead of scarcity.
Well, they have that abundance mindset.
They have that abundance mindset. They like, hey, especially with social, the internet and their reach and the ability to really reach people at almost zero cost with doing a podcast. There's no need to hoard the opportunities. And that's very similar to like my belief in life and everything like that. Like, I'm a realtor, and there's 13,000 realtors in this market in San Antonio, and there's enough to go around. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I believe in that abundance mindset. Like, whatever you get doesn't take anything from me. Whatever I get doesn't take anything from you. We all have the same opportunities to go get what there is available, and there's so much more available. It's like, just through content production, like the ways that like you can make money with just a lot of effort. That's the thing, is most people think it's with a little bit of effort. Like these influencers and stuff like that, the amount of time, we don't do nearly that. Like, you do more on social media than I do, and I know I should probably do more. But it's taxing. It's a lot of work to do that.
Well, I mean, we're even learning that just by hosting this podcast.
I'm supposed to be the face of this. I'm supposed to just come in and look good.
we host it. We produce them out once a week.
Yeah.
But then by the time you break it down from the podcast, take it, turn it into short form, get that scheduled to be posted, and do all of that stuff, it takes 1 hour or 30 minutes a week for the episode. But then probably 3 to 4 hours behind that,
for sure,
to get it up and going. By the time you plan out what we're going to talk about, go out here, scout local restaurants that we're going to talk about, look up the ideas, get it edited, And that's not even including the edit time that our producer Eric spends on it.
Well, that's not
so
our
it
time,
might
so
it might be 10 plus hours a week for a 30-minute episode.
Absolutely. Which it's been a lot of fun though, because as we both noticed, like people talk about it all the time, and I hear it from randomly from people that I know personally and everything. But one of the subscribers to our podcast is one of the girls that plays volleyball with my daughter on her club team. I mean, that's cool.
And then I was we're doing a transaction. We're supposed to close Friday, and then yesterday and today, hopefully tomorrow. So documents had to go, like the husband's in Washington, the wife's in Florida, so they had to like fly documents across country. So hopefully we'll close tomorrow if documents get there. And the agent, we had something pop up, and at the end, and he was like, "Hey, how's your podcast going? I've been watching you." And I was like, "Man, we don't have a relationship to be friends like that. We've done a couple transactions back to back. We did 2 in the past 2 months." But for him to be like, "Hey, how's your podcast? Like, I've been seeing that. I've been watching it."
That's fun.
And I was like, "Man, that's super cool."
It is. Yeah, but back to the people. What they don't want to hear us brag.
I'm not bragging, yeah.
So talking about restaurants in town, and I'm gonna mention them again because I'm going there again tonight. The Hook Land and Sea, that's over there off Ashby. I think it's Ashby. It's right there by the Tin Top. They got Cream Social right there. The
Carabin and Shaw. Attorneys.
Yeah, all that stuff is right there. They've got a little Airstream that they do haircuts and stuff.
That's super cool.
Yeah. Love the area. I just love everything about the vibe. When I went there Friday night before we went to see Tom Segura with my son. I went there with him and his wife. It was their second time. And it was funny because first time I got their birria tacos. And my daughter Emma, she got their salmon tostada. The second time she went with them, and she got their burger, and he got fish and chips, and I don't remember what Avery got. And we're all talking about that burger, and we got there, and a place that everybody should get something different so you could try. We all got the burger.
Is that good?
Oh my God, it's great. So like I said, I'm going back tonight. I'm taking Jennifer and Elena tonight because they haven't gone. I try to take Mia Grace, but she's...
Tell me about this burger, Ken.
Caramelized onions. They've got their own little sauce. It's sort of they're thin patties. It's a double burger, right, with double cheese, and it's the thin patty, so it's not like it's too much meat. And that's one of the things I like about a good burger. I prefer a double burger, but I want a double smash burger, right? I want real thin patty. So I only want maybe a quarter of a pound to a third of a pound of meat. Like I don't want I don't want a half pound burger or anything, but I like that double stack and then get meat cheese.
Because I think it retains heat well.
Retains the heat and the caramelization that it goes on the meat when it's the part that's touching the skin. That's where all the flavor is. It's not the great when someone serves me a burger that's this thick and it's all gray in the middle. That's where none of the flavor is. It's like on the outside. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a great restaurant. But you were saying that you finally went to I don't know if it's nationally, but it's definitely here locally now, and it's in Austin. But a chicken place.
Yeah. So one of our go-to chicken places has been Gus's famous fried chicken.
Do you get it
down
spicy,
in Southtown?
Spicy?
It only comes spicy.
Okay, because I've been there and I loved it. But I think, and so
yeah, it only comes spicy. So we went last night. Super good. Got the chicken. I usually do like 1-piece breast. Got macaroni and cheese and collard greens.
I love collard greens. I really do. Good collard greens.
Yeah.
It's the best.
And then we had some fried okra for the appetizer. Okra is so good too. And my wife, I guess they have a new chicken sandwich. She got that. And that thing was super good too. Everything was just so good. She's going to kill me because we just went to H-E-B Sunday and like bought dinner for the whole week. And I want to do nothing but eat out. Like I just want to go to all these different places. I don't know, but
I like to cook at home, but especially like I've got to be like getting home by like 4:00 because it takes me hours to cook. Something that takes like 20 minutes to cook, it'll take me 2 hours to cook.
You get distracted?
Well, I'm watching my show and I'm chopping slowly or whatever. But you say they're really good chicken sandwich. We picked up Whataburger. I had dinner with my parents last night. We just picked up Whataburger, and my mom was like, "If they have a grilled chicken sandwich, I want that."
Their grilled chicken sandwich is pretty good.
And we're like, "Yeah, they have a grilled chicken sandwich." And so we're dinner's almost over, and my mom goes, "If they always have this grilled chicken sandwich," she goes, "I want to get it again." I'm like, "Mom, they're always going to have that grilled chicken sandwich."
Well, they're one of the fast food places that kept grilled chicken through COVID.
Was it? I didn't realize
So
that.
McDonald's got rid of their grilled chicken. I don't know. I think Whataburger is the only place that I can think of that has a grilled chicken sandwich right now.
Chick-fil-A does their grilled chicken nuggets. I don't know if
They do a grilled chicken sandwich too. Yeah, Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Chick-fil-A's the best.
Chick-fil-A is the best. And you know what we discovered the other day? It was cheaper for us to go eat dinner at Chewy's
Than Chick-fil-A?
than Chick-fil-A. And we were talking with another couple, and they were like, "Hey, we went to Texas
But
Roadhouse."
I'll tell you right now, that's not fair. That's not a fair comparison because Mexican food is just less expensive.
Yeah, but they went to
general.
Texas Roadhouse too, and they were like, "Hey, it was less expensive than Chick-fil-A."
Dang.
So I don't know. Like next time you're
Maybe
at
they're doing
Chick-fil-A,
that Wendy's surge pricing.
next time you're at Chick-fil-A, just peep the prices. I know everything's expensive now.
My Chick-fil-A consumption is going to go down because Thea is like her go-to place is Chick-fil-A. She gets 12 nuggets, large fry, large sweet tea, 3 barbecue sauce. That's it. Elena is a caniac. She's canes all day long.
We don't eat canes.
You don't eat canes?
No, Delilah doesn't like it. She likes gravy with her chicken strips.
I'm
they
not
don't
a
have
fan of
gravy?
cane sauce.
I wasn't crazy about the cane sauce either. Like she's such a fan of gravy with her chicken strips when she was pregnant. Not this last time, but one of the other ones. Sounds like a lot, right? But I think it was the first one or the second one. I don't remember. But I went and got Whataburger for dinner for us, and she got chicken strips. They forgot the gravy.
And that was
Boy,
nice.
she was crying.
Man, those pregnant women.
Yeah. Something else, aren't they?
They can be. Got us in trouble right now.
It's all right.
That's all right. The women are only 50% of the population, and the pregnant ones is a subset of that. So we can't be offending a lot of people.
No.
Just half the people.
I mean, pregnant women know they're crazy.
Women know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Gus is down there off South Alamo. Like that whole area down there is one of my favorite areas to go to, just in general for food.
They closed down the Brown coffee shop next door. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I knew that they were closing down because they also closed down. Like they're kind of so Brown Coffee were the most stuck up. Like they were just too much. Like
Well, they have like letters on the door saying, "Hey, if us baristas decide to do something else, we'll let y'all know."
Well, here's my personal experience. We went into, and this is the one that when it was on Broadway, and I just wanted a coffee, which is fine. There was a couple in front of me, and they asked for milk or cream with their coffee, and they're like, "No, that's okay. We specifically select and roast these beans to their perfection, and it's intended to be served this way. We don't give cream with our coffee." And they're like, "But I like cream in my coffee." And it's like, "Well, you don't have to have the coffee." And she's like, "But you have like a latte where y'all have cream here." And he goes, "Yes, we have cream here. You just can't have it for your coffee." So the fact that they're closed down, you have to ask if I believe it. I believe it.
That's like that Seinfeld. No soup for you.
No, it is, and it's like we live and we believe in a customer service world. Like customer service in our industry is paramount to be able to have referral business, and that's the only way to like. Contrary to popular belief, this is a very tough business, and whatever our commission rates are, it's a very expensive business to be a part of. Like we have a lot of cost involved, and so I just lost my train of thought.
So yeah, just how they made them feel. Like they wouldn't give the lady cream.
Yeah, and it's like you've got to like your customer is right to a point and everything, and no matter how proud you are of your product, like if you don't have a customer to sell it to, I mean, what are you doing?
So boil it down. Like, how do you think they made that lady feel?
Like an idiot, for one.
Yeah.
And like just like, and that's we've got to. in a lot of especially food industries, the breweries, the coffee shops are notorious for these type of like being holier than thou. That this is what I intend, this and everything, and it's true to a point because like they produce something that they love. This is what they think is the absolute best representation of them. It's great.
I'm sorry, but that doesn't matter. This is McDonald's. We get it our way. Or we go somewhere else.
I still pick
and you still got to get business to keep your doors open.
I want ketchup on. Now, I'll tell you that the burger at Hook, it's a burger you order and you eat it. You don't need to do anything to it. It's one of those there, and maybe it's just me, but I did like brown coffee, so I don't drink. I've not drank milk in my coffee since I was a kid.
Well, that's because you were scared to ask for it after you saw that lady. What happened to her?
No, it's funny because I do kind of agree with them. Like I believe that coffee is really good, and like if you should enjoy it. Like,
yeah.
Don't put cream in it, but at the same time, it's like it's to each their own.
And I still think that happened.
Coffee.
That happened. It's downtown urban.
Yeah.
And that goes into the next phase. San Antonio, it's been 4 years since the peak of the pandemic, and we still haven't recovered our urban population for the most part.
No.
So what happened in San Antonio when COVID hit? People moved out from the urban areas, and we're still not all the way back together yet.
We were talking about this on one of our last podcasts and everything, just like the amount of decrease in values. The downtown area had like a 7 to 10% decrease in value from August of 2022 to August of 2023 because of that. And it's definitely seen that, and which creates great opportunity to buy down there. And because I still think it's going to come back even stronger because there's just too much going on. We talked about the Spurs coming down to Hemisphere, the baseball field. Nelson Wolff is doing everything. I don't know if it's all the way going to happen, but if Nelson Wolff wants a baseball stadium down there, it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, he got to sign off that DWI, right?
Nelson Wolff, you want to come on the podcast? Yeah. We can talk about it.
Let me know. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's a huge change in that urban area down there. I think it is coming back. So if you look around the Pearl, we have all the banks that have opened up around there. So Bank of America has a new building, Generations. I think Liberty Mutual has a building. There's another building down there from some bank. I don't remember the name. But there's a lot of things going on down around there. So that's like the north end of downtown.
Yeah.
The south end, there's still some things coming around. So we're going to see what's going to take that spot from Brown Coffee. Gus's still seems to be strong and kicking.
Yep.
There's more restaurants coming in.
Well, everything at Blue Star is doing great. But even more so to really kind of drive that economic thing, one of the great things is which is going to make Eric really happy. I'm going to talk about one of his alma mater is UTSA, go Birds. Is committed. They're starting to build a college down there that specifically, which is crazy, and I don't want to get it. It's I should have probably kept my glasses on. It's focused on AI and AI learning and general artificial intelligence and multi-language models and stuff like those, language modals or whatever, large learning modules. That's what they're called, the LLMs. But right now they've got about 6,000 students. They're going to have about 10,000 students total in that college that's going to be downtown. They're really building that infrastructure. So it does a couple things. It brings in a lot of students who are going to want to live nearby, most likely. So you've got a lot of apartments that are kind of going in that area already, but like people that are building in like multifamily and different those types of properties or have an opportunity. But all of the restaurants. I've got 4 kids that have graduated college, and I'll tell you one thing: they are all foodies. They all love going to coffee shops. They all love going to restaurants. They go to all the happy hours. Like, it's a great opportunity for San Antonio to grow another subset of culture, bringing in the college kids coming down there.
Is it true that coffee shops are just bars for sober people?
This is a great place for a first.
Man, I love coffee shops. I wish they were open later. There's not very many that are open later.
Well, they have this conception that, like, you drink coffee and you don't go to sleep. So, like, the later that they're open, like, they're losing their audience. Like people want to go to bed.
I mean, there's people banging out Red Bulls at 9 o'clock at night.
I can drink a cup of coffee and go straight to bed.
Yeah.
My tolerance to caffeine is it's gone. It's like it's a part of my lifeblood.
But I wish there were some more open later. I know Summer Moon's open till like 8. But for the most part, most of them close pretty early. So we were actually looking at, we run the young adults ministry at our church. So we were looking at maybe pulling out a Wednesday night and like going out and having coffee and just hanging out a little bit. But we couldn't find no coffee shops that were open. So,
well, and you know what? It's other than like going to like Lick or Baskin Robbins or something like that. Think that you don't really have like a dessert place. Like you don't have a place where you can go like just like that. Go like have a coffee, have an espresso, and like have like a pastry or something like that. Or so we don't have that type of place. And I think that would have a somewhat of an audience.
I would think so.
So we're opening a restaurant. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
but who should be opening a restaurant and is a 7th grader. Her name is Lila Smethurst. She is from San Antonio, 12-year-old who just won the Food Network's Kids Baking Championship. So congratulations. That's awesome. Representing San Antonio well. Somebody should pay for her to go to the Culinary Institute of America there at the Pearl.
I'm sure it's coming.
By the time she's 17,
baking is no joke.
Oh, man. Have you been to Baker Lorraine?
I haven't. So Delilah, she went to culinary school, and those baking classes are so tough because they have to like
it's gotta be right.
do the math with the ingredients and then adjust if you want to make it for 50 people or 500 people and adjusting the fractions and doing all of that. Like it's
a
tough
science
stuff. Yeah,
it's a science. It's like that's the reason why I feel like cooking is not hard. You just put in the things that you like the flavor of and then heat it up. It's like really is what you're doing, and it can be off by this or that. But baking, it's even like with making pancakes. Whenever I try to make pancakes, they're the flattest, worst pancakes because I still just eyeball it.
I'm team waffles.
I am too.
I like waffles better.
I like chicken and waffles.
Delilah, my wife, she doesn't like waffles.
Oh, they're the best. Chicken and waffles. Have you? Oh man, chicken and waffles.
Chicken and waffles is good.
Oh, so let me ask you. So chicken and waffles, bone in or bone out? Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter.
You're wrong.
What about you?
It's got to be bone in.
Bone in?
And it goes back to the first time I ever had waffles was at Gladys Knight and Ron Winan of the Gospel Family. They had a restaurant on Peachtree Street in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was called the Motown. And they had a Arnold Palmer that they half tea and half lemonade called the Downtown. And when I'd go to Atlanta on business, I'd go to get a Motown with a Downtown. And that's the first time I ever had chicken and waffles. And for me, you got to have the bone in. It's got to be like the wing part with the little drum and everything. And
with the wing tip?
With the tip, everything sitting on top there. Crystal hot sauce. Every food has the right hot sauce for this. You got to use Crystal hot sauce. It's got the right vinegar amount. Little maple syrup. Good to go.
When we were in California, we went to Roscoe's. I wasn't a fan.
Yeah. Most places don't live up to the
hype. Yeah, I wasn't a fan. We went to the one in Anaheim. Maybe it's because it wasn't the one in the hood. But yeah, I wasn't a fan.
You gotta be careful going to the hood. They just another restaurant in Oakland has shut down all their in seating. You can only do drive-through now.
Yeah, but it's you do got to be careful. But I've been good in the hood.
Yeah. Oakland's a different kind of hood.
Yeah, Oakland is. Yeah.
We'll stay in Texas.
Yeah.
Texas hood. Everything about Texas is nicer, and the people are nicer. Even our hood is a little bit nicer. Everything's nicer.
So if you're in California,
it's nicer.
Move away from California to Texas.
It's nicer.
Leave the Roscoe's there. I wasn't a fan. Thanks for tuning in. Hit up Gus's Fried Chicken in Southtown. Hit that like and subscribe.
Hit up Hook, Land, and Sea. It's like you will not go wrong. That restaurant is like my number one restaurant in San Antonio right now. Hook, Land, and Sea. Sorry.
If you don't like it, Ken will give you a refund for your bill.
If you don't like it, I'll give you a discount on the next time I represent you buying or selling a house.
Let's go.